She want the finest, yeah. She want the finest clothes, she want the finest cars. She wanna pull up with the cameras on her like a model. Yeah, she want the finest stuff, the finest stuff. She want the finest stuff, the finest stuff. Yeah, she want the finest clothes.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hello everybody, I'm Ruben Studdard. Welcome to ViceStyles. ViceStyles is a show that discusses the vices of gentlemen, such as cigars, music, and spirits. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Terrence Baldwin and William Gettys. How's everybody doing today?
Gucci.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. It's so good to be in the room with my brothers discussing what we love. First of all, cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody. Today,
Yes,
everybody, we are drinking Cappuccino Dark Rum. And we'd like to thank the lovely people at Cappuccino Rum for furnishing us with these great cocktails today. So, what's been going on, everybody?
Man, lovely day. Football just started back, so I'm excited about that.
Ooh, I cannot believe it happened, but I'm so glad it did.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad
So
it happened.
glad.
This quarantine has almost killed our football season.
Oh man.
But I'm so glad we get the opportunity to watch football. And the best thing that you can do during football season is what? Drink some whiskey
Right.
and have a cigar.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of that, how do y'all feel about everything opening back up? Like, are you nervous? I know, Rube, you kind of like a serious quarantine kind of.
Listen, man. I mean, especially, for me, my life as a performer is I perform around a lot of people, and it's definitely, for me, it gives me a bit of trepidation just because you never know who you're around that could be a
Right.
possible carrier of COVID.
Right.
But you also have to live, man.
Right.
At the end of the day, we don't know how much time we have on this earth, so
Exactly.
you might as well have a good time while you're here.
That's true. Well, the most important thing is just to be smart about it.
Right.
Be smart, be safe.
That's right.
Wear your mask up.
Yeah.
And
If you can't stay 6 feet apart.
And also have your hand sanitizer, guys.
That's right.
Make sure you carry that with you wherever you go.
Right. Because you would hate to take it to a family member that, So yeah.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So Terrence, tell us about the cigar that we're smoking today.
Okay, so today we're doing the Romeo and Julieta
Mm-hmm.
Reserva Real, and it's nice. I like it. Rube, you convinced me. You've been telling me about Romeo and Julietas, and I've had them before, but they're just not really on my radar. But this Ecuadorian wrapper is really nice, and it goes well with this rum because the rum is not super sweet, and Will wanted to go light. And
Yeah.
so,
If anybody that doesn't know much about rum is usually and typically a lighter liquor. It's 40% alcohol, 80 proof, so we want to go with something a little bit lighter on the palate as far as cigar goes. So a good Connecticut wrapper like this pairs perfect with rum.
I think the cigar is just, it smokes even, really nice draw, and it's just great to have with the rum. Like, I think the rum is the star,
right.
but this Romeo and Julieta is the co-star of the night, and I appreciate it. It's
Right.
great, yeah.
And you might catch the notes of vanilla in it. It's not overpowering, but that vanilla note will go well with the rum.
Yeah.
And then also the first thirds was somewhat peppery, but as we all know, as you go through a cigar, you catch different notes. So feel free to leave a comment and let us know what you think about the Reserva Real. And I'm hoping that it's pronounced Real and not real.
You tried to be fancy.
Right.
Reserva
Real.
Real. What are we
Reserva
smoking
Real.
today, Terrence? Reserva Real.
I'm smoking that Reserva Real.
That wasn't funny to you. I'm
It
sorry.
was funny,
I'm
but you gonna do that to me on camera?
I'm sorry, but I just thought it would make a great joke.
Bro, we got our legs crossed, we smoking cigars, we got our jackets. You can't say Reserva Real.
You right.
Real.
We too fresh. We way too fresh.
Real.
We gotta keep it real around here.
Keep it real.
Hey, Will, when the dude was talking spot to you, what you had to do? I had to keep it real with
Keep it
that.
real. I had to keep it real with that one.
Bro, are those Jordans fake or are they real? Hilarious.
That is hilarious. But Listen, I'm glad we picked a stick that we can all enjoy, man, and we can all sit back and have a good time and laugh. I think it might be a little bit of this Campesino rum that got us a little silly.
It's nice.
Man.
We may have had too many takes before this.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, this rum is extremely tasty.
But it's creating magic right now, and that's what spirits are about, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. I love it.
Welcome back to ViceStyles, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, we have a very special guest with us today, somebody that I'm sure if you're in the Birmingham area or anywhere in the Southeast, you've heard of by now. But if you haven't, I want you guys to go and check out Campesino Rum. And today we have Campesino Rum's very own Haddon Smith. Haddon, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you, Ruben.
It's so very good to have you with us. I'm so happy to have somebody here that's, from Birmingham bred and born, and we just wanted to showcase what you're doing special in the rum industry, which is such a vast industry. We all are interested in rums and spirits, but it's so interesting to have somebody that's making rum from Birmingham. So tell us, Haddon, how did you get into the rum business?
Well, Ruben, it's a very interesting story. So I used to live down in Panama.
Okay.
I moved down to Panama when I was about 19 years old, and I became a hiking guide.
Okay.
And I would run hikes for biologists and a team of explorers. Mm-hmm. And I was in and out of school, and after school I moved back down and I found an old abandoned rum still down at the base of one of my hiking trails, moved into it, and I started bootlegging rum.
You started bootlegging rum. So we here in Alabama are very familiar with bootlegging, but we're used to getting them good moonshine. So you started bootlegging rum, which is very different from something that you're probably used to tasting here in Birmingham, Alabama. But what were some of the things that you learned while in Panama as it pertains to that particular rum that you found?
Well, I learned just about everything there is to learn about rum. I learned how to make it, how to harvest sugarcane, harvesting sugarcane, juicing the sugarcane, getting down to sugarcane juice, then fermenting that, distilling it, which is basically boiling it, turning it into a vapor, and then condensing it back into a liquid, and that's what makes alcohol.
So what makes Campesino rum special as opposed to Bacardi or any of the other rums that people are used to trying? Because what we want people to step outside their comfort zone. Every time you have a rum drink, you don't have to have Bacardi. You should try something different, and especially if you're here in Alabama in the Southeast, try somebody that's from around here.
Right, so the big difference between Campesino and most all other rums out there is most all other rums, they back sweeten it. So they'll go and they'll add sugar back into the bottle. Not only sugar, but coloring to make it darker, and oftentimes glycerin. And glycerin makes it a lot thicker. And so when I learned this and I wanted to create a true premium sipping rum, we didn't do any of that. So that's when you notice, when you drink Campesino, you notice it almost drinks like a quality bourbon or quality scotch, because it's not sweet, it's straight from the barrel.
Okay. What are some of the other things that that pair well with the rum that you make? Like, there are a lot of, that people make so many different kinds of cocktails with rum. Like that, I feel like rum is like the favorite cocktail spirit. Like, exactly. Next to vodka, people mostly make their cocktails because it has that sweeter finish to it. So what are some of the cocktails that you see people making most of the time when they use the Campesino rum?
So I'll tell you my personal favorite.
Okay.
So if you catch me around Birmingham late at night at the classic cocktail bars, I'll have a Campesino rum old fashioned.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic. Pairs great with a cigar, great with any type of like steak dinner or whole fillet fish, anything like that. It's just a quality sipping rum.
Quality sipping rum.
So I got a question for you, Haddon. I'm curious. So I noticed on your brown and your white Campesino rum, they're both aged. And I typically don't really see that for most rums when you just go into the store and you're looking for a good rum to buy to take back home. Tell us a little bit about the aging process and how you came about that.
Sure. So the silver rum, like you said, is aged as well, which is a little bit different than most white spirits out there. So that spirit is actually aged and distilled in two separate countries, Nicaragua and Trinidad. It's barrel aged in an old bourbon barrel for a minimum of 2 years, kind of a maximum of around 5. Then we blend those two countries and send them through a charcoal filter, which strips it of not only the color, but a lot of the impurities, which leaves it to be a very smooth, very delicate spirit. With our aged rum, The big thing with rum is the tropical climate produces a maturation process that is much more expedited than, say, like in Scotland where it's very cold. The humidity plays a big part, and so when the barrels are aged in that humid climate, they mature a lot quicker.
Okay. Awesome. Now I'm curious, were you much of a rum person, before finding that distillery down there?
I was. So I grew up in the coffee business, and from that, traveled down to Central America a lot. And the first time I think I ever took a sip of alcohol, I was in Guatemala at the base of a Mayan ruin. And a Guatemalan man came up to me and he poured me a glass of Guatemalan rum and he hands it to me and he said, "Don't ever mix this." And since that day, I became a rum man.
He said, "Don't ever mix it."
Ever mix it.
And have you found that to be true? Like, as for your rum, do you think that people don't really get the chance to taste what your rum really tastes like in a cocktail?
I think that if you really want to experience any spirit, the best is to have it just like we're having now, just neat, straight from the bottle. For me, I hardly ever use a glass, really. I just take it straight
from the bottle.
Straight from the bottle. It's like that.
That's OG.
That's like that.
Listen, Haddon, we are so thankful and appreciative that you took the time out just to come and sit down on ViceStyles. We really, we want to showcase the things that are specific to this region of the South and where we're from and the different vices that men have. And so we're just thankful that you took time out of your day to come over and sit down and talk to us about Cappuccino rum and all the different varieties that you have in your line. Listen, everybody, when you want to go to the store and you're going to your local ABC store, look for Cappuccino rum. Don't skip by it. When you see it, you can't miss it because it has an anaconda or some kind of snake on the label. It's very distinctive. You won't miss it, but not only will you not miss it, but when you do buy it, you will enjoy it and you will love it. Sir Haddon, we thank you so much for coming down and spending time with us, and thank you so much. Again, everybody, check out Cappuccino rum. Go ahead and tell everybody your Instagram or your social media pages if you have them.
Yes, so you can find Campesino Rum at Campesino Rum, or me, myself personally, at Captain Rum Coffee. You can follow along with the adventures and see what happens.
We'll be right back. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ed.
So all of us here at ViceStyles are huge music fans. So guys, what are you listening to these days?
Oh man, I'm on this new chick, and I don't know if she's necessarily new, but she's new to me, Mahalia. She has a Love and Compromise album. I've been bumping it hard.
Mahalia?
Mahalia.
You talking about Mahalia Jackson?
She ain't Mahalia Jackson. She's more like a Mahalia.
Mahalia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caucasian.
Okay.
Australian, actually.
Australian Mahalia.
Fire.
Fire. Okay. What about you, Will?
Sort of along that same tip, Alina Barrez.
Oh yeah.
I love her. I like smooth vibes, something that I can chill and lay back to, have a good cigar, a great rum, and her music is just fire to me.
I'm gonna tell you what I've been listening to a lot lately while I'm sitting at home smoking a cigar. BJ to Chicago.
Oh my God.
BJ.
Boy.
Hey man, it's a great. I mean, he's a great vocalist.
Yes.
But it has that mix of those hip hop feels.
Right.
With the good vocals.
Speaking of, I got to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
On the way here.
Okay.
I love BJ, but this is the first time I've heard this track.
Okay.
Worrying about me ain't get you no money.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey
Worrying
boy,
about me ain't never getting you
windows
no money.
down.
Hey.
Hey, that's my new anthem, man.
Worrying about me ain't never get you no money. That's a track.
Chill out, bro. Oh, but it's nice.
Oh,
I gotta check it out.
I love Feel the Vibe on that album. Champagne, Players Ball featuring Rick Ross.
Players Ball, nice.
Oh yeah, man, the whole album rocking.
Yeah.
Okay, well today what we're talking about is D'Angelo and the Black Vanguard, The Messiah. This album right here
Classic.
is classic.
Yes.
Listen, I mean, I can go down the list of all these songs, but my favorite song on this album for sure is Betray My Heart. This album right here, guys, is definitely a must purchase if you want to purchase some classic R&B sounds for your house that, it's a newer artist, you know what I mean? He's not old school, but it's definitely old enough for most of us that's over 30 to understand who he is. So what you think about this album, brother?
I think the album is great. We waited long enough for it. You get a lot of ethnic guitar sounds on there, man. He put his time into it. So I'm a big fan of that album.
Will, did you get a chance to listen to it?
I did listen to it because Rube talks about it so much.
Right.
Okay.
But it's a great album. I mean, he's a legend, you know. I just love the neo soul vibes of it. It's a great album.
Another curveball.
Okay.
Who would you like to see in a versus battle with D'Angelo?
A versus battle
D'Angelo?
with D'Angelo.
Prince. No, I'm joking.
No.
Prince would kill him.
Versus battle with D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Music Soul Child.
Ooh.
Nah.
Now he might lose, but
He
that's
might.
a good matchup.
I think that's a good match.
It's a good vibe, I'll say. It's a good vibe.
Who would you pick?
I feel like it's got to be a female, in my opinion.
Yeah, I see somebody like Erykah Badu.
That's
okay.
exactly
there
what
you
I
go.
was thinking.
Sure, but
Exactly.
Music Soul Child. Nah, we gonna.
I mean, well, I guess I was just picking another male neo,
Yeah.
like that's probably in that
Yeah,
neo
you-
soulish. But Erykah Badu and D'Angelo,
She's
would be-
perfect.
that would be a
That
hell
would
of
be
a-
great.
That would be hell. So moving along to our old music, because you can't know where you're going
Ooh.
unless you know where you've been.
Hot shot.
Speak
Yes,
on it
sir.
now.
Listen, this album is one of my all-time favorite jazz albums. John Coltrane featuring the vocals of Johnny Hartman. Listen, I know everybody that's watching this show is probably looking at me like, man, what are you talking about? I mean, most of you guys have all heard of John Coltrane, but many of you probably haven't heard of Johnny Hartman. This brother is the personification of smooth. Everybody, when they hear me sing, people often say that my vocals are smooth, and I listen to this guy a lot. He is one of my biggest musical inspirations, Johnny Hartman. Everybody probably thinks I sit at home listening to Luther Vandross all the time.
Right.
But as a young man, I listen to more jazz music than anything because I fell in love with jazz when I joined the band at Smith Middle School. Shout out to Smith Middle School Cougars and Mr. Smith, band director, But he's the one that introduced me to jazz, and he's why. Have you ever had a chance to listen to this album,
I
Terrence?
have not.
Okay, what about you, Will?
I have Mr. Coltrane, but not that album in particular. My dad was a musician, rest his soul. He played jazz. He actually played by ear, and he loved jazz music at Coltrane.
So everybody, listen. When you want an album that's gonna like really put you in a good mood with a good glass of red wine or a good scotch or a good bourbon and a cigar, because we are, you know, the ViceStyles fellas, so that's our thing.
Here we are.
Put this Johnny Hartman and John Coltrane album on, and you will not be disappointed.
Tell us what song to go to, straight to.
Listen, right off the top of my head, my one and only you.
Oh yeah.
The very thought of you makes my world spin. Anyway,
Like that?
just like that.
Oh my
But
God.
listen, guys, those two albums are definitely go-tos. You won't go wrong with them. Pick those up the next time you go to your record store or you're on Amazon looking for music. Pick those up.
So you said earlier that a lot of people compare you to Luther Vandross. Like, is that a compliment? Is that pressure? What is that?
I think it's the ultimate compliment.
Right.
Luther was one of the greatest vocalists of all time.
Right.
And for people to compare me to him, to me, is the ultimate compliment. It was pressure when I was younger because it made me feel like I had to always perform at his level.
Right.
But what you understand is that Luther didn't get great overnight. You
Right.
have to mature to that greatness. And so I feel like through my maturation, I'm getting close.
Well, as a friend of yours professionally, I remember you when you first recorded Superstar, and to seeing the Ruben Sings Luther tour at this mature age, you handle it well, and I don't even see the pressure of trying to be Luther. I actually got what the title of the concert was, Ruben Sings Luther.
Yeah.
So if you're reminded and you feel Luther in the building, cool. But I'm giving you Ruben Studdard.
Right.
And
My
I-
God.
I'll just say real quick to Terrence's point, and I've seen you perform the album. I love it how you put your own spin to it.
Right.
You got your own swag to it, but it's those classics that we all know from Luther.
Well, thank you guys so much. I'll make sure I put those checks in the mail for
Bless you,
that
bless you.
endorsement afterwards. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to ViceStyles. Listen, this show is not only about cigars, it's not only about spirits, it's not only about music, but it's also about fashion. And we have our own, very own fashion expert here, Mr. William Gettys. Mr.
Oh,
William
man.
Gettys, tell us what you have for us today.
You're going to put the expert on it, put
I
the
mean,
pressure on
I
it.
mean, you
Oh,
stay
man.
fresh, brother.
Well,
You
I mean,
stay fresh.
Hey, look, I appreciate it. You did mention spirits to start the show, and I thought you should have said style, but we gonna brush that under the carpet.
Listen to that petty Smurf over there.
I like that. He got his petty smirk clothes.
But no, y'all talked about it earlier. We're fresh on the set, right? As you can see, we all are rocking suits, but in a casual way. And that's one thing I actually want to talk about. And my favorite subject of this show is fashion and style, and just kind of the evolution of suits and what you guys feel about that. You know, back in the day, when you throw your suit on, you got to have a button-up shirt, tie all the way tied up to your neck. We used to call it suited and booted, right?
Okay.
Now, you know, in today's world, you can kind of be a little more casual with it. You can put your own flavor to it, you know, with T-shirts and sneakers and whatnot. So, you know, Rube, let's start with you. How do you feel about how the suit has come to today's world as it used to be?
I think that for me, I'm always happy to be more casual because I'm on stage. I always have to wear, as you say, suited and booted. Everything has to be super put together. So for me to just put on a suit with a T-shirt, some nice chill shoes, I enjoy it more than anything because I can, you know, go anywhere. You can go in any room, business meeting, or hang out with your friends, and you don't have to change your clothes.
That's right.
How about you, Tim?
Hey, I like it as well. You know, sometimes when I wear my suits with a button up, it's a little uncomfortable with my spank on. But with the T-shirt, the spank doesn't really cling to the T-shirt as much.
Spank, huh?
Well, talk to us about those Candyland socks you wear today.
Oh, boy, you gonna file for me like that?
no.
I just thought they
Are we
were
gonna-
really nice.
Stall them out, Debo.
We gonna cut this out?
I just thought it was really nice.
Well, first
Stall
of
'em out,
all,
Debo.
these are cashmere,
From the finest cashmere.
Cashmere.
Real,
Those are is that Real cashmere?
bruh, the red in there, the blue in there, the white in there.
First of all, I didn't say you weren't matching.
Okay.
Because you matching, baby. You fresh.
Well,
I'm
hey.
just saying.
Oh, boy.
Actually, because we all of us, he don't got no socks on. I got on some old black socks. But you
Yeah,
talking about-
you look like you about to break out of the ear shot.
I got
Take it to church.
I got my
Take it to
granddad to
church.
say the 30 president. But to continue what you were saying, Will.
Oh boy, y'all are wild. But yeah, so in today's world, because we can pair suits a little bit more casual, pare it down more, you can really show your personality. Like for instance, I've got a T-shirt on, Basquiat T-shirt on. It shows you I can dress up, but I can be dressed down at the same time. So I think I mentioned this to you guys before. I've always had this mindset of even when I'm dressed down, I'm still dressed up. And that's the type of versatility and be versatile when I'm going out, whether I'm going out to a fancy event or a casual event or just to go have fun.
Yeah, but holler at me about what you're doing on that lapel over there. Because
Oh, man,
you're
this
killing
is,
them. I like how you came with the white with the pocket
You like
square.
that? You like that?
And
know
then
what?
you delete.
This is actually, I'll give them a little shout out. This is from Ainsley and Troop. It's a black owned company out of DC. So look them up online. You can look up, you'll see my Instagram handle in here somewhere. I talk about them all the time, but this, the handkerchief and the lapel pin both came from them. So just something to add a little bit of extra flair to your suit, especially when you're dressed in casual like us. Instead of the tie, you throw in your lapel pin.
So question, because a couple years ago I used to debate, like guys used to do the pocket square and the lapel pin, and I thought it was too much.
Okay.
But how do you do it? Because that's not too much to me. How
So-
do you do it? So have you ever seen it where it's too much?
I have. For instance, I'm not a fan of guys doing too much.
Right.
I don't know if you guys every now and then you'll see somebody with the pocket square or the handkerchief, and it's like hanging out
Yeah.
down here to the second button.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Right.
Like just put it there. It needs to be a little subtle flare so you notice it, but it's not making too much noise. Same with the lapel pin. It's not huge. If I got a tie on, I'll probably leave the lapel pin on.
So basically what you're saying is less, even when you're dressing it up, it's
Exactly.
absolutely more.
Exactly. Just stay key, stay essential, stay simple. Simplicity is always can be fabulous at the same time without doing too much.
I got one more question though, since we're on fashion.
All right.
What your wrist talking about over there? I see your wrist action too.
Oh man. Okay. So I'm an old school guy, even though I may be a little bit younger.
Right.
My dad always taught me every man always wears a watch. So I'll never leave out the house without a watch. It's just a little Michael Kors watch there. Never leave the house with a bare wrist. on your left hand. That's just me.
Wow.
Now, I like a little gold, so I got a couple of gold bracelets here. You know, one's the inside of a watch attached to a gold bracelet. But accessories are key when it comes to fashion and style, your own personal style. Always accessorize. I love that word, accessorize.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Gettys, we appreciate you always coming with the best style and fashion advice. And hopefully one day I'll let him dress me on the road. I'll let him put my suit together when I'm on tour. And Terrence, when you're doing your shows, wherever you do your shows, I mean, I don't know, but where you do them.
Maybe I'll start with Terrence, because I've been asking Ruben for 3 years now. He's been turning me down.
Come on down
ever
to the
since.
Gump
So I'll
and get
start
your
with
boy
you, Terrence. All right, come on.
But
cool.
listen, everybody, listen, we just want to thank you guys so much for coming and tuning in to ViceStyles. We appreciate you. We know that you don't have to take the time out to watch this show, and you decide to come here and spend about 35 minutes of your day with us. We appreciate it. So for me, Ruben Studdard, from Terrence Baldwin, for William Gettys, thank you for watching ViceStyles. Please join us again where we'll be discussing all the vices that men have in a fashionable, chilled out way. God bless you.
And wait a minute, Ruben. Wait a minute. Where we at? Where we at? Where we located?
We have to give a shout out to our friend Saeed for allowing us to tape our episode of ViceStyles this week in the Humidor Room, Cigar Lounge in Birmingham, Alabama. Listen, everybody, if you want to have a wonderful cigar experience, if you want to have a wonderful cocktail experience with your cigars, come down to the Humidor Room in Birmingham, Alabama. He has everything you need, and he will be happy to help you. Thank you, Saeed, for allowing us to use your facility today to tape ViceStyles. And everybody, salute.
Cheers. Salute.
Cheers, you guys.